Good morning. How are you this morning? Welcome back. My name is Ajul, and this is Domain Reality. I know it's a little early in the morning, but we got a lot on our minds we've been talking about all day, and I figured I'd get my, opinion in, and that's what it is. This is my opinion. This is going to be another one of those sensitive topic subjects. So if you are younger, affected by topics such as murder and things to that effect, you might want to, pick another podcast to watch tonight. I have plenty of other episodes. We talk about a lot of other things, but this episode, we are going to talk about the seriousness of some other situations that, have taken place in the last day or so. So tonight, what's on my mind is just absolute like insane video of George Floyd being murdered. And I'm going to call it straight what it is. He was murdered on camera. And that's a hard video to watch. And it poses the question of why do these things continue to happen? What is causing it to continue to happen? Where does it stop? And so I've been talking with some friends, and we've been debating a few things, and there comes the argument of race, and then there also comes the argument of entitlement and good old boys covering up for each other. And as much as you don't want to admit that those things happen, they do. They do. 100% they do. And I know that this issue has hit home because this is a white cop and a Black gentleman. However, it also is so much more than that, because it could be a white gentleman. George Floyd could have been a white gentleman, and it could have been a white cop, or vice versa. I mean, it just is affecting across the board. It's not just affecting along racial lines. Now, studies have been done. I know the facts, and it is a much larger issue on the racial level. I believe the last study done said like 6.93 African Americans that come in contact with cops have the potential to be, killed by them. Whereas I think the number was like 2.3 or 3.1, Caucasian Americans that's there. So that is a big difference. And I do understand that. And I'm not blind to that fact. But I think there's a lot of other issues on top of that. So what I thought that I would do, which is something I usually don't do. First of all, I want to say hi to Rusher, all the way over across the pond. How are you this evening or this morning? I think it's this morning over there. But let me know if these issues affect you guys over there, because I know here in the States it's a huge issue, but I don't know how it affects people on the other, in other countries. So what I've decided to do tonight or this morning, is actually play the video. I've done some shortening of the video with some subtitles, and we're just going to kind of watch it together. And we're going to talk about some key points of this video, how this video and this action differs, to me, in my opinion, than other events that have happened with, along racial lines, like the Ahmaud Arbery case and the Breonna Taylor case and things to that effect. This one to me is completely different. And I think you'll understand why. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that video on. We're going to watch a little. I might stop and talk, but I really just want you to watch it. And just so you know, if you haven't seen the video, it is very graphic. There's not much hitting in it. So if you haven't seen it and you choose not to see it, now would be a time to kind of step away. It's about a 6-minute video. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on it. If you have a question about it, something I can answer. If it's, I want to know how you guys feel. Is it just me that feels this way? So let's go ahead and get this video started. 1 second here. I know I'm going to use a new feature, so let's see if I work it right. All right, here we go. So let me get this started here.
You don't think nobody understands that shit right there, bro? I trained at the academy, bro. That's some bullshit, bro. Right.
tough to watch. And Russia, that's the whole question. Why do the police do things like this? Why do they think that they can get away with it? Why do most get away with it? I think it all boils down. There's been several cases in the Supreme Court, and it's qualified immunity is what it's called. Is basically it's designed to cover. Let me read it directly because I don't want to mess up the definition. Designed to protect all the plainly incompetent or those who knowingly violate the law. Law enforcement officers are entitled to qualified immunity when their actions do not violate a clearly established statutory or constitutional right. In this case, that's not going to play. I'm sorry. So let's think about the parts of this video. So where I brought the video in, the cop had already been on him for close to 3.5 minutes. During those 3 minutes, Mr. Floyd is, telling them, I cannot breathe. You're hurting. My chest is hurting. My knee is hurting. And I didn't understand that part at first. And then there was a backside of a video. You see a short clip. There's actually 3 cops on top of him. And as you watch the video, where I brought it in is basically the last couple minutes of his life. They are the one cop is on his neck, kneeing on his neck, and then you have 2 other cops. He is handcuffed. He is not resisting, and that is the thought that they're going to use is that he's resisting. There's multiple videos from stores not resisting. When he's lifeless, is he still resisting then? You have the one cop guarding, which is ridiculous. You can visibly see when Mr. Floyd takes his last breath. And the cops don't budge. They continue to stay as they are. The cop guarding continues to guard. A Minnesota firefighter comes up and demands, check his vitals. You need to check his vitals, and is quickly reprimanded by the cop standing guarding. Not once did they have concern for his life. Not once. Not once. Even when EMTs got there, you can see when they were flipping him, that was a lifeless body. And the EMTs will later report that they were unable to find any pulse. So these things happen all the time, but you don't always get a clear video of it, or you just get the one side of it, or you just hear bits and pieces of things. This video shows the truth of things that are happening every single day all over the country. And it begs to ask you the question, like, when is enough enough? When does it stop? How does it stop? What is the future for our countries if these protectors are let to do whatever they want to do? Now, let me be very clear. I don't have an issue with law enforcement. I appreciate every single thing that they do. I know that they put their life at risk a lot of times. And I know that I'd say 95% of them are doing it for the right reasons. However, I do believe that there are a large number that are misusing their powers, misusing their, given, abilities with their job. I highly believe that in my own, thoughts about things. But once again, this is not knocking police. This is not knocking, anything like that. This is calling attention to the fact that there are ones in positions of power that are getting away with things for years and years and years. And how do I know that? Because listen to this. The cop that had his knee on Mr. Floyd, that basically killed him. He had been with the force for 19 years. He had already been reprimanded multiple times. In 2008, he shot a man. In 2011, he was also part of another shooting, and basically, written off on both. So a 19-year veteran and two shootings, and now you've killed a man on camera. How many other misuses of force did this cop, play part to? And then the gentleman standing, guarding, literally, you're guarding, you are allowing. Why didn't you stand up and say something? You and the other two cops allowed this to continue to happen, so you're just as guilty. And let me say that again, and let me, make this clear. I believe all four of you cops are just as guilty as the one with the knee, because you stood by and let it happen. That's my opinion. I believe it to be fact, but once again, that's my opinion. The cop that was standing guard has been with the force for 12 years. He was actually sued for excessive force in an arrest back in 2012. So you have two long-term officers with a police officer. Both of them should not be in the position they're in based on past events, but they are. And then you have two new, one in 2019, one in 2017, the other two officers. That doesn't excuse them, but they are newer. So no record on them yet. I know that personnel files are being pulled by certain agencies, but those haven't come out to play yet. So why are these two and we're just going to talk about these two because they're the ones in case in point right now. Why are they still in the force? Why do they still have power? That's the question I pose. Because it shouldn't be, oh, here's a slap on the wrist. Maybe next time don't do that. No. Because if any Tom, Dick, or Harry went out and shot somebody, they'd be on trial, they'd be in jail right off the bat. No, not these guys. These guys went home on Monday night. These guys got up Tuesday, went to work. Thank the Lord that they were fired. And I applaud the mayor. His name is Jacob Fry. I applaud him. And the governor as well for their very public comments about the situation. Denouncing it, calling for their arrest, because they're seeing it just like everybody else. So what is our society going to be in the next few coming years for our children, for our grandchildren, if we continue to let this downhill? If we continue to let the people in power get away with things as serious as murder and act so nonchalant about it. Oh, I'm sorry. If I heard somebody, I would be like, watch those cops. They are not freaked out one bit. Not one bit. No care, no concern, nothing. I don't get it. So that's kind of just where my mind thought is on that. Like, where's this taking us? How do we stop it? Why are we covering for these cops that are obviously not doing right? And then on the same token, on the backside of that coin, you have everything that's going on right now. Rioting, looting. Okay, I fully support protest. I fully support, vocally, just like my podcast. When I get on, I talk about issues that affect me, that bother me, that I think about, that I, care about. These are things that I care about because I have children, I have grandchildren. When I'm gone, they're going to still live in this world. And if this world is continuing to go downhill, what is it going to be for them in the future? You know, that worries me. And, so, but it also worries me about the way that people respond to the action, because there are multiple channels and multiple ways for people to express their frustration, to to fight the powers that be, basically. Um, you can do it the legal way. Yeah, it takes a long time. Do it the right way. Don't leave any stones unturned. Voice your opinion. Talk to your senators. Stand up. Go to protest. But the looting, the rioting, that's just out of hand. Why are you stealing a TV from Target because of this? I don't get it. Those two don't go together with me. Like I've thought and I've thought and I've thought and I've thought, and I just can't put those two things together. What makes you think that you stealing and looting and setting an AutoZone on fire is going to to stop this? So you guys tell me, like, what do you think would change will change this? Where do you see things going? Do you think it's a straight racial issue, or do you think it's a issue of entitlement versus, the position that they're in? Are we allowing them to get away with it just because they're putting their life on the line to go to work as a police officer? Do we write off their wrongs because they potentially put themselves in harm's way? So that's my thoughts today. And George Floyd, from all that you can see and find and research on him, seemed to be a very, all of his friends, family, all the way back into the high school. He grew up here in Houston, where I live, in the Third Ward. Went to Yates High School, played ball. One of the news stations actually pulled some like old footage of him playing ball, catching a touchdown in the 1992. He played in, I believe it was 92, in the Astrodome when it was here. And then in like a championship game. So, I mean, a guy that coaches kids still, he's, faithful. He does music. He loves music. He raps. And they called him a gentle giant, is how he's described by multiple people. Not just like one or two. You're talking everybody that you talk to, even people from way in his past. And so, golly, just like, how does it happen? He moves because, work in this area is tight. So a couple years ago, he moves to an area that more work is available. We've all done it. And then he loses his life. So it's frustrating and it's perplexing all in one. Like, what do you do about it, and how do you do it the right way? So that's the question I leave you with today. And I hope that you'll leave your comments and thoughts in the, in the comment box. And I'd love to respond, have a dialogue with you. I love to, banter back and forth, as long as it's respectful. But let me know what you think the issue is. Where do you see this taking us? Where do you see this particular incident? Do you think that it's going to change anything? Or do you think it's just going to be another one that goes by the wayside? So definitely leave your comments, thoughts, remarks, anything you'd like. I would love to hear from you. And I hope you all have a great day. Hope you all take the time to stop and think and watch your surroundings and just, be aware, live in the reality, as I say, because life's short. Life is short, but we're going to make the most of it. We're going to enjoy it, and we are just going to have a great time. I know I'm going to. I think I'm going to get a couple hours of sleep, jump back on here, and we'll talk about this later on this afternoon. So appreciate y'all stopping by this early morning. Like I said, just had stuff on the brain, had to talk about. This is Domain Reality. Please make sure that you like this video, subscribe to this channel, so that as soon as I have new videos come out, that you will be able to get them. Also, if you have an idea for a show and or a topic, shoot me a message. I'd love to hear them. I'm open to, any kind of topic. I'd love to talk. If you'd like to be on the show, shoot me a message as well. Once again, my name is Angel. I am the host, and this is Domain Reality. Y'all have a great day. Make it one of the best you've ever had.